Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prepared Mind channel. We are in SHTF over our heads now. You try and breathe and you choke on the stink and the stench of what is being done to our country, our nation, our way of life, what is being done to our people. Oh my gosh. And what is being done to our world. I hope all that came through. Little studio snafu there. Folks, it's over our heads. The stink is over our heads. It's out of control. I can't believe what we're going to be talking about next, right? What we're going to talk about next is, well, what will they do next in SHTF? I think, though, as good a question as that is, a rational, logical question. What are we going to see coming next over Mark Milley Vanilli, General of the U.S. Armed Forces, who is in charge of our military as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, you know, basically calling the enemy and telling them what we're doing and giving them aid and comfort, aka treason. It's not really what they're going to do next. I think a better question is, what won't they do next? I still am disgusted. I'm still nauseated by Lieutenant Colonel Vindeman. That's right. That was the traitorous turd, one of the twin non-Americans. That's right. He moved over from somewhere in Eastern Europe, a former communist state. He was born in a communist country and raised in a communist system. And as much as I like to hear about people being liberated from communism and then migrating legally to America, which I hope he and his brother and family did, but you don't let someone like that get that far up, that they're working in the White House so they too can violate the trust of the American people and the president, interfere with, lie about, and try and bring down a lawful and patriotic American, President Trump. This is just, it's getting disgusting what we're learning. Oh, but it gets better. But wait, there's more. Former Secretary of Defense under the Trump administration, Esper. I like to call him Shitheel. He was involved with this General Milley incident where he made calls, 2 calls that we know of. Maybe it's more. 2 calls reported by Woodward of Woodward and Bernstein fame. 2 calls with China, right? He got involved with it. President Trump, folks, was surrounded by treacherous, backstabbing, treasonous, chicken shit, left-wing, socialist, fascist, if not communist, scumbags. I don't understand how there could be that many of them. Except when I talk to people who are familiar with Washington, D.C., it's as if that's really all you have to choose from. Now, Defense Secretary Shitheel Mark Esper supposedly was involved at such a high level with this Mark Milley. It's not a controversy. It's how criminal was this? Apparently, Esper was involved in the effort to let the Chinese know what the hell was going on prior to the election and then also in January, right? A senior defense official confirmed this allegation. According to the Washington Post, the columnist's name was Josh Rogan, and he wrote on Twitter, quote, Milley was absolutely not going rogue. Esper took the initiative on this in October. Esper acts his own policy, folks, to back channel the message. Milley's message followed Esper's. So basically, now what we have is further coup, anti-American behavior, and a chain of command for treason. Okay, if I was ordered as a Marine to commit treason, If I was given an order to commit treason and I followed it, it's still treason. It's just there would be other people implicated in, well, 2 or more people, a conspiracy. Millie is not a private, not an airman, not a seaman. Well, some might argue on that one. Millie Vanilli, General Jackass himself, is not some boot. He's not someone fresh out of OCS. He's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he has a duty to not commit acts of treason. He has a duty to serve. He has a duty to follow his oath. He failed on multiple levels. He accepted a terrible order and then followed it, if that's the case. It's still treason. And now it looks like Defense Secretary Mark Esper, shitheel extraordinaire, sounds like he has committed treason also. That's fine. Line them all up. I've got no problem. Line them all up. Take them all out and carry out whatever punishment is required for this level of treason. I've got no problem with it, folks. Get them all out of there. Get them all out of there. Right now, if you remember, Esper, what was a complete and total jackass during the 2020 BLM and Antifa riots in Washington, D.C., because he refused, as Secretary of Defense, to carry out orders from the president. And I remember being outraged then over that, right? Because he refused to allow the National Guard to carry guns or ammunition in Washington, D.C., when these terror groups, BLM and Antifa, were threatening to overrun the White House, committed the act of arson on a church. And I remember the press when President Trump and others, I think including Esper and Milli Vanilli, went to pose in front of the church, I think, to say something like, "You're not going to burn this down," something like that. And they all acted outraged, like, "This was a huge crime. I can't believe you're gonna make a crowd get out of the way for the president." Well, crowds are always moved out of the way for a president, whether it's a photo op or not. I remember when they shut down New York fucking City so that President Clinton could fly in and get a haircut. He wanted a haircut, and so they basically shut down parts of New York City so he could get a haircut. Not even a photo op, not even something that was an official deal. Like he couldn't get a fucking haircut on Air Force One. Like he couldn't get a porn star to say she was a beautician and come and give him a haircut to his satisfaction so that he could feel like some big powerful guy. But no, Trump can't do this. He can't do that. He can't do anything right. Well, these people commit outright treason. And folks, treason is not a crime against the president. Treason is not a crime against me or you. Treason is a crime against all of us. Everything and everyone, America. What will they do next? Well, this stuff, folks, is what they've already done. We're hearing about what has already been done. It's hard to understand what's going to come next. It's hard to predict it. It's hard to predict what is coming next because of how just insane the things are that we find out that have been done in the past and are just now coming out. And this is how crimes happen, folks. A crime happens somewhere. Nobody knows. It's done in secret, but then evidence comes out. There's a body, right? There's a crime is detected. Then they start investigating and find out who, when, where, what, why. Right? Crimes are prosecuted after the fact. That's just how things work in a logical world. Now we have evidence of crimes after the fact. I don't want to hear the Hillary Clinton defense. Well, what difference does it make now? Well, the difference is that other people will continue to commit crimes, which is my question. What will they do next? What do they have in mind next? And they know they'll get away with it. They know they're going to get away with it. Secretary of Defense Blinken says the hostage situation, or rather the Americans who are detained and unable to leave and get out of that country, it's still ongoing. They're still blocked. Americans are still trapped. Are they doing anything? Why is that not a priority? Why haven't they figured that out yet? The mainstream media is not really covering it, right? So I guess it's not a big deal because nobody is getting criticized by the American people because the media won't do their fucking job. Because, I don't know, the Attorney General's office won't prosecute crimes. Where is JAG? Where's the Judge Advocate General over Mark Milley, Vanilli, general, liar, traitor, treasonous bastard? Where are they? They have to do their fucking job. That government is the only thing that can hold government accountable, with one exception. With one exception. And that is the people's taking action. The people's efforts. The people's, us. The people's right for a free country. If the government won't regulate itself, if the government won't uphold the law, if the government won't do its job, they're leaving the people but no choice at all, except to stand up and take the country back. And of course, the government, under the Biden administration, under the Kamhola administration, Nancy Pants Pelosi's already put fencing back up. They're putting up security measures in DC because they're going into full-on scumbag, traitorous control. They need to protect themselves because they're afraid of the people. You bet. And they're about to pull a big ass false flag too. It's coming. I swear I can smell it. I have people talking to me about it. They know that they have to cover all of this shit up. There's so much shit coming out now that they've got to throw more shit on it to hide it. But there's only one way to fix this, folks. It's right there in the Declaration of Independence. When tyrants get out of control, when the people are abused, when the government doesn't obey natural law, the common law, constitutional law, then they leave no choice but for the people to take action on their own behalf, in defense of their rights and in defense of their own nation, because they are authorized to repel, right, all enemies, foreign and domestic. It is a God-given right. And the government wants you to believe that to take action against them is a crime, is itself treason. No, it's not. Getting rid of scumbags like Esper, getting rid of scumbags like Milley, getting rid of scumbags, all of them in Washington, D.C. I've heard people ask, well, why would Texas want to secede from the Union? They would do so much better if they just stay in it and just put up with more and more shit. See, that's what we all need to do, is just keep putting up with shit because we couldn't have it any better anywhere else. Well, that's the thing about the Declaration of Independence. That's the thing about law, is you can say, I don't have to be in an abusive relationship with a government. I have a right to be free, a right to think for myself, a right to make decisions for myself, a right to benefit by my own labor and efforts, a right to be free from restraint, free from restriction, free from control of others, and to live my life. This is my body. When I move, it's because I want to move. I don't need permission from the government to move, to think, to breathe. What will they do next? Folks, what won't these scumbags do next? That's a bigger question to ask. What don't they have planned for us? I expect they have a lot more planned for us than we can imagine. And I've got one hell of a fucking imagination. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around what these people can do, will do, would do, and are going to do as shit hits the fan. More and more and more. Where is the outrage? It's here, folks. It's here. It's palpable. You can taste the outrage, the anger, the frustration. I met with a active duty Marine yesterday. Hadn't slept in 2 days and still was just disgusted with what's going on. He's like, he's been carrying out his his duties, and he's like, it's just, I need a break from this shit. Anyways, I was glad to talk to him and meet him. But these, folks, people are outraged, fucking outraged everywhere, and nothing is being done to fix it. It's like, okay, we hear your outrage, go away. Don't worry, we got everything under control. We're the United States government operating out of Washington, D.C., committing all manner and act that is immoral, unethical, and not only illegal, but unlawful. And sometimes I feel like the Lone Ranger. Sometimes I feel like I'm a lone voice, and I know I'm not. I know I'm saying what you're thinking. I know it because I hear it from you guys. John, you're saying what we're thinking. You're seeing what needs to be seen, and you're saying what needs to be said. And I'm going to keep doing it because it needs to be said. This needs to be done. The time has come, folks. This shit is out of hand. Get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Get all that together to protect yourself, your family, your prepper group, your community. But shit's going to come apart. Things need to be fixed. How much longer can it go on under this situation with these jackasses that are in charge right now? You think they're going to win an election and take America back with paper, or is it going to have to be taken back with, Full Metal Jacket? I don't have a whole lot of faith in paper anymore, because it seems like the paper is just covered in lies. It's incredible, folks, how far and how fast this shitstorm has come and how much damage is being recorded. And yeah, people are waking up, folks. Just because there's no one in the streets rioting over the treason doesn't mean the anger isn't real and people aren't ready and willing to step in. We're all out here. We're all pissed. We're all capable. And yeah, the government's right, especially the veterans and active duty military who see what's going on, recognize it for what it is, and wish and hope and pray that something will be done sooner rather than later so they can take action. The time Well, it looks like we're back. Well, wasn't that interesting? I don't think the power grid shut down because I was in an explosive, tyrannical, common sense rant. I'm not pushing for anything illegal or telling anyone to do anything wrong, folks. I'm just saying it is coming. It is coming. Get prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Have your plan. Understand things are happening. The system is being exposed as the fraud that it is, and the people in charge as the criminals and tyrants and traitors that they are. The time is going to come when they will pull the pin on their explosive moves. And we're going to have to suffer through that as well. And they don't care, folks. If they did, we would be in a whole nother world, wouldn't we? If they gave a shit, would we be having to put up with this crap? If they really cared about our country, us, our families, America, it would be a different world. Instead, they care about themselves. They're concerned with their agenda, and they're willing to sacrifice everybody and anything to get it. So don't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised. We can be angry, disgusted, outraged, but don't be surprised. Not in any real way, because we know that what they're going to do next is going to be awful. And again, I don't know what it is that they're not willing to do based on all of the decisions, choices, and actions being made. It's incredible, folks. Absolutely incredible. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Semper Fi, Godspeed.